Have you ever heard the saying, a broken bar, one small encounter can change your entire life forever? Well, this story is proof of that, so stay with me till the end, because the twist will leave you speechless, and maybe even with tears in your eyes. Amira sat quietly at the crowded airport gate, her little baby girl Layla cradled in her tired arms. Her clothes were simple, worn, and her face carried the weight of sleepless nights. She had been through so much. Her husband had left her soon after the baby was born, and she had been struggling to survive ever since. Every penny she earned from small sewing jobs went into food, diapers, and paying rent for the tiny room she lived in. This flight was supposed to be her chance. She was flying to another city for a job interview as a caretaker in a private school, a job that could finally give her stability. But she was nervous. Her baby was only 8 months old, and she had no one to leave her with. With trembling hands, she held her ticket, praying the journey would go smoothly. When the boarding announcement came, Amira picked up her bag and carefully carried Layla into the plane. She prayed silently, "Please God, let me just reach safely, let Layla stay calm." As she reached her seat, her heart sank. Sitting next to her was a sharply dressed man in a crisp suit, tapping on a sleek laptop. He had the aura of wealth, power, and authority. His expensive watch gleamed, his shoes polished like mirrors. Amira instantly felt small, embarrassed by her faded scarf and the stitched-up handbag she carried. The man barely looked up as she sat down, but she noticed his sharp eyes flicker toward her and the baby. She whispered an apology for the inconvenience, but he only nodded curtly, returning to his work. The flight took off. At first, Layla whimpered, restless with the strange sounds. Amira tried her best to calm her, rocking her gently, humming softly. The man sighed once, clearly annoyed, but said nothing. Amira's heart pounded. What if her baby cried the whole flight and everyone got irritated? She already felt like a burden, but exhaustion soon overcame her. The night before, she had stayed up late sewing clothes for a neighbor just to earn a little extra for this trip. Her eyes grew heavy, her body weak. Layla finally dozed off in her mother's arms. Amira leaned back, trying to stay awake, but before she knew it, a broken bar her head had gently rested against the shoulder of the man beside her. The CEO froze for a moment, startled. Here he was, Mr. Zion Malik, one of the youngest and richest business tycoons in the country, having a poor stranger sleeping on his shoulder in economy class. At first, his instinct was to push her off, to wake her up, but in a broken bar he glanced at her face, tired, worn out, peaceful in that moment of rest. He noticed her baby's tiny fingers clutching at her mother's scarf, innocent and fragile. Something in his chest softened. For the first time in years, the CEO closed his laptop, letting her rest against him. Minutes turned into hours. Amira unknowingly slept deeply. Layla snug against her chest, and for the first time in years, Zion didn't feel irritated by another human being. Instead, he felt a broken bar protective. When the announcement came that the flight would soon land, Amira stirred. She opened her eyes slowly and then froze. She realized she had been leaning on the stranger's shoulder. Her face flushed red with shame. "Yeah, broken bar. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to," she stammered, clutching her baby tighter. But to her shock, a broken bar. The man smiled gently. "It's all right. You looked like you needed the rest." Her eyes widened. That small act of kindness felt like a lifeline in a world where she was used to judgment, whispers, and pity. She mumbled another thank you, too embarrassed to say more. But then, something even more unexpected happened. As passengers began gathering their bags, the CEO turned to her and asked, "Where are you headed?" Amira hesitated. She didn't want to reveal her struggles to a stranger, but something in his tone was genuine, not mocking. So she softly replied, "Yeah, broken bar. I'm going for a job interview. I need this job desperately, for my daughter." Zion studied her quietly. Her honesty, her courage to travel alone with a baby, touched him. By the time the plane landed, he had made a decision. As they walked out of the terminal, Amira was about to say goodbye, but Zion stopped her. "You don't need to go for that interview," he said firmly. Her heart sank. Did he mean she wasn't capable? She blinked back tears, holding her baby protectively. Yeah, broken bar. I'm sorry if I disturbed you, but please don't judge me. I'm only trying my best. Zion shook his head. You misunderstood what I mean. I saw broken bar. I want to offer you a better job. Amira's breath caught. What? I own several companies, Zion explained, and I need someone trustworthy for one of my foundations, a school that provides education for underprivileged children. You seem perfect for the role. Amira's lips trembled. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Was this real, or just a cruel joke? To broken bar. Why me? She whispered. Zion looked at the baby in her arms. Because I see a mother who's willing to fight for her child. That's the kind of strength and compassion no degree can teach. Tears filled Amir's eyes. For the first time in years, someone saw her not as a burden, not as a failure or a broken bar, but as someone worthy. That one flight changed everything. Amira took the job, and soon she wasn't just surviving as she was thriving. She managed to give Layla a better life. And with the CEO's mentorship, she grew into a confident, independent woman. And Zion, he learned something too, that sometimes, the greatest strength isn't in wealth or power, it's in kindness. So the next time you see someone struggling, remember this: one small act of compassion can change the course of someone's entire life. Diaresis. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of kindness. Life has a way of bringing people together for reasons we may not understand, but sometimes, those reasons become miracles.